This is Norm. It is the 7th of January, 2026. I just want to make this little vlog, recorded video, just to think out loud, say a few things about my green room, which I thought to have this out in public because maybe some people might be interested in how I am crafting a room to build the lore internally within my writing world. All of my notes, my note-taking setups, my writings, masterpieces, published stuff. And, after working on this place for like a year plus now, this room is forming a lot better. I'm getting a lot more clarity on what I'm expected to have constructed around here in the different corners. So I thought I would do a little tour around to show you how things work. So where you're standing or where you're looking is the second monitor from my main computer setup, where it's overlooking basically the majority of the room. It is undoubtedly very green. I will show you around a little bit. But you're seeing the tinkering setup around here, which I'll explain in a bit, and the whiteboard, which I'll do more brainstorming diagram stuff, and where I don't have any dependency on the form of my thinking by having a giant canvas with markers instead of, say, software or staring at a screen for long hours at a time. So what you're seeing is basically where the majority of my writing and thinking will be happening. But if I bring you around, this is the PC, or the computer setup. It is a gaming PC with 2 monitors and just a humble mechanical keyboard there just for writing purposes. I only just got this recently because the previous one broke. I've been typing so much on it that the keys stopped functioning. This is a dual setup with a ring light in the back, a basic webcam right there just for calls, but I will expand on the webcam stuff in the future, and a Shure MV7 as my main microphone, which I've been using for most of my podcasting days. The goal here is that as the angle that you saw, or as per the angle that you saw beforehand, this is going to be angle number 1 with this webcam here, where you'll see me writing away at this PC. But then angle 2 would be a clamp here, and then a second webcam that would focus more on the whiteboard, and it'll be a lot more widescreen in terms of what it's going to capture through the lens. And from this angle, you will see basically the whiteboard and me going around the room or tapping around the room or walking and wandering and finding notes here and there. Essentially, the point of it is that there'll be 2 perspectives, and hopefully it should encapsulate all of my thinking as I'm going about every single corner of this room, so that I can show you just how I think in physical space. I am using this clamp. It is actually a wall mount for a light, but there's a universal steel mount at the end that I can attach a webcam to in the future, so I'll probably install that later on. But yeah, hopefully in a new update I'll have that ready. The whiteboard, I think, is very obvious as to what the function of it is. I would have it as a huge brainstorming or freeform note-taking medium, so I'll just leave it there. I bought it off of my previous job a few years ago. They had a whiteboard and they were selling it secondhand, so I decided to keep it for myself and had it shipped to my house, and then I moved it here. There is a industrial cabinet full of tech, cameras, microphones, and yada yada yada. Lots of boxes. Let's not open that because it's quite a mess. But the other interesting point here is the tinkering desk, or the gray desk. In my head, I always call this the green room. the PC desk as the computer desk, and then the tinkering desk as the gray desk or the tinkering desk. And the reason why I say tinkering is because this is a desk that serves multiple functions. First of all, this is a secondhand from an old office that was moving. Here in KL, they were selling their furniture. I decided to get both this and the cabinet at the same time in one valuable deal. But this gray desk was purposely made to house some stuff that I feel can be separated from the PC. So, for example, if I need to be mobile and work on the go, I have my laptop here that I can move around, my MacBook. Wait. It's also a charging station, so you can see there. Zoom in a bit closer. I have my batteries, my phone, and my camera batteries basically. Here to charge things. This obviously looks very messy. I'm trying to figure out a way to hide this power board so that I can charge things without it showing up in my webcam view, because man, all these cables look really crappy. That being said, another function is that I thought to get into music production. So I have a Akai APK Mini here, and then OrcaPad, just to dabble into random music creation software. I thought to, satisfy my inner child by searching for ways in which I can make music. And having this keyboard tray that came in with the desk was useful, so I can put this away, and when it's work mode, I can put it away and go into tinkering. You might notice these pads, or these felt boards. I've been using this in my living room to push pin postcards, photos, notes on the wall, and it's been really successful. I have a few left over, so I thought to do the same on this desk by outlining all of the same boards all across there so that I can push pin private notes, sketches, diagrams, maps that I'm going to create in the future. And I thought to get that board ready in preparation. So I will install that soon. There's some pieces of inspiration here. These are postcards that I collected from a secondhand market in Bangkok, Thailand. And I kept a few of them, at least the ones that are most inspiring, internally within the green room. The rest of them are actually outside of the room. I have a bunga terong, which is basically the sigil or the symbol for adulthood in the Iban tribe. This is an exact copy of, well, not exact, but nearly the same as the one on for me. So I thought to have that as a sticker, put it on here. This is a variation of a sigil that I'm building for myself, but I'll probably get into that in another video. But it's in a nutshell, I joined a sigil making workshop where I drafted variations of a symbol that I've been getting visions of. And in the end, the host or the teacher of that workshop printed it out as something that you can place as a temporary tattoo. But I didn't want it to be temporary, so I decided to just place the design as it is onto the table and then have it eternalized. Another variation can be found here as well. So there's a lot. There's a lot happening. It's not complete, but I thought I would do a little progress video just to show. It's also just to keep me accountable as well, because by having it out there in public, people see it as like a checkpoint as to how things will go. I never could look back and be like, oh, that's cute. I was at this point in time. I could be envisioning things and looking forward to it, and eventually in a few months or a few weeks rather, I would have it all ready. So as an example, I'm just going to move this around to here. I don't mind the cable from the microphone, but I was thinking if I was going to be teaching, or if the angle from the other webcam is going to be there and I'm teaching, I thought I would have at least a clamp here that would allow me to hold like a book open, or like a laptop or something. Then I can have it as a referential holder instead of me going back to the table every single time. Maybe that's a convenience thing. Maybe that's just a little bit too much. I don't know. Maybe it's over engineering. But I thought it'd be pretty cool to just have like a laptop here to write quick notes as I am brainstorming things over time. The other thing as well is I am still finalizing what should be on the shelves. So if I were to bring this a bit closer. So the shelves are not finalized. I can't think of anything to put them on yet. I just found some books that I was studying Japanese in. I have some like stationery that I'll be using over time, which I think will definitely be here. I have my Duo Desire mask, which is representative of one of my internal world characters, so that's definitely going to be presenting itself somewhere around this vicinity. Other than that, I have knickknacks here and there, a broken alarm clock, a massage gun, Chewbacca. Not relevant at all. I'll probably move those out of the way. That is a Final Fantasy art for a Magic the Gathering scene box, and a Clockwork Pi, which was a device that I was tinkering around with to do some note-taking on the go. But ultimately, it's just collecting dust here. It is a beautiful piece of tech, though. Let me see if I can... But the goal is that I can use these shelves to hold notes of a different kind, physical notes here and there, stationery that I can use immediately to tinker onto the desk, or in the future, build a physical Zettelkasten. Although I did see the listing for a library catalog cabinet that I really want to get, but that might be something in the future, and it will probably not be in this room because it's so small that it will be too much to try to find a way to fit that in this room. But ultimately, yeah, that is the progress for this room. I want to make it a place where I can belong eternally, where my writings are articulated in the most natural of ways. I can go to any corner and I can find notes of my own, notes of the past, writings of a particular category, theme, topic, fiction, non-fiction, research, short stories, novels, etc. I already have those. They're everywhere, but they're chaotic. I've been digitizing them, organizing them, but the problem is that when I was designing this place, I wanted to make my writings more haptic. I wanted to feel my words. It's the case of reading a book on an e-reader versus the physical book, and then turning the pages and smelling the page, like what the material component of the book that you're holding, the weight of it, the anticipation, the font, the design of the front cover, all of that. It adds to you. The subtleties add to your association or resonance with what you are consuming or experiencing. And I wanted to do the same with my words. So I thought, why not turn this room into the equivalent of a library or archive of all my writings? And so all of these pieces are basically drafts, right? They're just placeholders for what I think can be potentially true in the future. Like more colors of a particular combination. Does the color red mean notes of a certain kind? Is everything in this shelf published? Is everything over there mean for a different hobby altogether? Are all my tools in one drawer? Are all my notes in a different one? Are sketches built in a different setup completely within the same room? Do I make my room more modular? Do I change this desk? I don't know. It's fun thinking about it, but I want to realize it. I want to make it real. I want to make it tangible. That's why I fell in love with writing. For some reason, writing is a way to turn the tangible thought into tangible, the written word. And the written word has real world consequences. And I love and adore the pursuit of beautiful consequences because of my own writing. And this green room is how I'm going to continue.